Hi everyone, my name is James, and today I thought I would talk about some of the books that I would like to read next year on my 2026 reading list. And let's just get right into it. The first one that I have in front of me right here is Underworld by Don DeLillo. Obviously, I've never read this, but I have read Don DeLillo before. I read The Falling Man by Don DeLillo, which I didn't like this at all. I thought this was, you know, a bit nonsensical. There was a lot of going on, not a lot of description on uh, anything. I described it as like I was trying to make my way through fog and make out characters and faces through fog, and it was really a bit difficult to get through, despite it being only 200 or something pages. But I kind of knew that I would like Don DeLillo a bit, and I I know that his two big books are Underworld and White Noise, and I couldn't decide which one to get. And then I saw Underworld at the thrift store for a couple of dollars, and I thought that would be a good one to start with. And it's massive, and I really like long books, so I thought I'd start with Underworld. On terms of excitement level to read it, I'd say probably like a 2 out of 5. I just have other books that I'm more excited to read, but I have put it on my list to read because I feel like I should start enjoying Don DeLillo for what he's actually worth. All right, next one is Moby Dick or the Whale by Herman Melville. Now, this I would say is a 5 out of 5 is in terms of excitement. Um, I have read a little bit of Moby Dick before, and I was enamored by it. I couldn't get enough, and I just felt like I wasn't in the right kind of time to read it, and I wouldn't give it the kind of love that Herman Melville deserves for this book. And I also fell down a bit of a rabbit hole of trying to find the best kind of copy, not only for like visual aesthetics, but for reading aesthetics. My vision isn't the best, as you probably could visually tell, but my eyesight has actually gotten worse a lot over the last 2 years. And so I found this copy by the Aryan Press, and something they call it the California edition. I think I'm not too sure about that, but I found this and I really liked the cover design. I thought it was really cool. Just how simple it is with a big picture of a whale on it, and the spine is super cool. And I really appreciated the fact that it has kind of I guess they're called like woodcuts of some of the stuff to explain what would it would look like. So here's a page. The right head of a whale, head of the right whale. Sorry, and because I know this book has a lot of you know chapters about whaling and instruments and rope and what things look like, and so they've gone out of their way to really design and visually have something that goes along with it, which I thought was really cool. And I just think the cover design is really cool. I got this on eBay and then I put some plastic over it because it wasn't in perfect condition. But I'm extremely excited to read this. I know I'm going to love it. And I really just want to start reading it, but I'm going to wait till next year. Next one on my list is Mason and Dixon by Thomas Pynchon. Now, I've only read one Thomas Pynchon book before, and that was Inherent Vice. I didn't love it. I thought it was. I thought there was too much going on for how short the book was, and I struggled to enjoy it. I finished it, and the first maybe 150 pages I was really into, and then it kind of got a bit much, where I couldn't really keep track of all the characters that were just constantly coming in and out of the story. But I did like Pynchon's writing style, and he's quite funny. And I knew that I'm sorry, I had seen a lot on Twitter that a lot of like book Twitter accounts all posted about how good Mason and Dixon was. And so I picked this up on eBay for, I think it's a first Australian edition, which isn't really worth anything. But I picked this up for like $40 with maybe $10 shipping. And funny thing about it is when I got it, the seller didn't wrap it up at all. They just put the book straight into the post bag. And so it arrived and like the edges were a bit beat up and some of the pages have gotten like crushed. And I thought that was a bit silly to wrap a book like that. Um, but I am kind of excited to read this. I guess maybe a 3 out of 5 excitement level. Um, Mostly because it's hard to be excited about Pynchon because I haven't really fallen in love with Pynchon yet. But I really do like kind of 1880s cowboy, westerny kind of books, like hence my Cormac McCarthy kind of collection, even though he's not really a western author as such. You know, the Border trilogy isn't really, but you know that kind of vibe. So I am excited to read this, but not that much. Okay, next I have My Struggle, book 1. I actually do own book 2 as well. I saw it at a secondhand bookstore and it was a hardcover, so I picked that up as well. But this isn't going to be on my reading list. It's just really to get through this one. I've read a little bit of this before. I picked this copy up in Los Angeles last year at a bookstore. It was in Eagle Rock, California, specifically. And I thought it was the small bit I've read of it, I thought was very good. His writing style is really interesting. It's kind of gossipy, which is really exciting. But I'd say maybe a 2 out of 5 excitement level to read. But I think mostly the excitement level stuff is just outweighed by some of the ones I'm more excited to read. It's not to say that the quality of the book's going to be not as good or like loved, but I just have other ones that I'm very excited to read. So it's kind of, I want to read them more than the other ones, but it's not, there's a reason they're on the list. Next on my list is The Red Flag Male Litbro King itself, Infinite Jest. I've never read this. That I've read probably about that much of it before. So not much at all, really, in the grand scheme of things. I really like David Foster Wallace, as much of that red flag is. I think his writing style is incredible. The way of, you know, making you feel like you're in that kind of scene of his describing. He has a short story about a birthday that a boy's having at a swimming park that I really, really enjoy. I thought that was written so incredibly well. I think it's one of the earlier short stories in the book, Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. No, it's over there. I won't get it. But I really enjoy his writing style. He's quite funny in a very human way. And so I'm super excited to read this, but I'm not really excited to have to bring this in public. It's a bit of a red flag kind of performative reading kind of book to have out in public. And this is my copy, but my partner has put sticky notes because they're reading it currently. But I'm pretty excited to read this. I'd probably say 4 out of 5 excitement level. That's Infinite Jest. Okay, next I have Charlie Kaufman's Ant Kind. I love Charlie Kaufman. My favorite movie ever is Synecdoche, New York, and I saw this in Sydney. I knew he had written this, but I'd never seen a copy in person before, and I saw this for $16 in a bookstore in Sydney, and so I picked it up, and it's just been on my shelf for about 2 years, and I've just been meaning to read it, and just find the time to, you know, cut down and read it. It is almost 700 pages, so it's massive, but I really do like big books. and I cannot lie. But I really do enjoy a thicker novel rather than a short one. I feel like I get more time to really, grow with the characters and the theme and really spend time with it more than just a quick read, and I'm kind of left wanting more. Um, and so I chucked this on my reading list because I keep seeing it on my shelf, and I love Synecdoche, New York, and I think I've just got to read it. I've just got to get it done. Don't really know much about it. I know it's kind of a very Charlie Kaufman, Eternal Sunshine kind of vibe, and I'm excited to read it. I'd say 3.5 out of 5. Okay, next I have Solenoid by, I can't pronounce that name, but you get the idea. I saw this on Twitter a lot of, again, people that I respect's opinion. I don't know anything about this book. I saw this book in Sydney as well, a different time I was in Sydney, and I think I can't remember how much I paid, $18. Don't know anything about it. I just know that everyone I like to watch and listen to videos and opinions, they love this book, and so I'm excited to read it. I'd say 3.5 out of 5 excitement level. Next is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. I've never read this. I'm not much to say. I know it's pretty monumental and everyone loves it, but I've never read it. And I'm excited to read it. I really am. It looks crazy. It looks super crazy. So I've been dying to read it. I only have a physical copy of it, and you kind of got to read it physically. But I also have his other book, Tom's Crossing, which I've ordered, which is kind of that same kind of 1880s kind of cowboy book. I don't know if it's 1880s, but it's cowboy. So I'm excited to read this. One book I haven't got yet because I'm waiting for it to arrive is Schadenfreude by Michael Lenz, the big one. That I'm so excited to read. It looks crazy. It looks so fun. Everyone, when it came out, was just super obsessed with it, and everyone talks about it, and I cannot wait. In terms of what I'm going to read first, it's probably going to be Moby Dick. I'm just so excited to read Moby Dick. It looks so fun. It looks monumental, and everyone, well, not everyone, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of people say this is their favorite book, and I'm excited for it to be my favorite book. That's about all I have, really. I've tried to record this video like 3 times. My camera keeps breaking, and it's really irritating. I don't really have anything else to say, that this has been kind of my 2026 reading list goal kind of thing. Yeah, I'd like to hear anyone's opinion on any of the books I've mentioned, or books they want to read next year.